The rain tapped softly on the roof of Mr. Malik's big house as he stood by the window, thinking. Malik was one of the richest men in the land. He owned many businesses, cars, and houses. But even with all his money, he felt alone in his own home. His wife, Lola, only smiled when he gave her money. His daughter, Cassie, spent all her time showing off expensive things online. His son, Jabari, was quiet and always stayed near him. One evening, Malik sat at the dinner table, watching his family eat. Lola didn't even look at him. Cassie was on her phone, laughing at something. Only Jabari noticed him and asked, "Dad, are you okay?" Malik forced a smile. "I'm fine, son." But deep down, he wasn't fine. He was tired of fake smiles, tired of being used for his money. He needed to know if his family truly loved him or if they only stayed because of his wealth. That night, after everyone slept, Malik called his assistant, Lucas. "Lucas," he said, "I need you to move all my money to a secret account. Close the businesses for now. Tell everyone I'm taking a break. And most importantly, no one can know I'm still rich." Lucas was confused. "Sir, this will shock your family." "That's the plan," Malik said calmly. "I need to test them." The next morning, Malik gathered his family in the living room. Lola walked in with a frown. "Why are we up so early?" Malik took a deep breath. "I have bad news. I've lost everything. The businesses failed. The banks froze our accounts. We have nothing left." Lola jumped up. "What do you mean nothing?" "You're joking, right?" "I wish I was," Malik said sadly. "We have to leave this house today. The only place we can go is my late father's small house in the village." Cassie screamed. "The village?" "No way. Me, Cassie, living in some village." Jabari looked at his father. "Are you serious, Dad?" Malik nodded. "Yes, it's the only way." Lola shouted, "You useless man. How could you lose everything just like that? What kind of man are you?" Malik didn't answer. He turned and walked away. Jabari followed him. "Dad," he said softly, "don't worry. Everything will be okay." Malik smiled at his son, a tear in his eye. "Thank you, Jabari. That means a lot to me." By evening, they packed a few clothes into bags. The big house was silent. No maids, no drivers. Malik drove the family in an old, rusty car that Lucas had bought for the plan. The road to the village was bumpy and dusty. Lola complained the whole time. Cassie refused to roll down her window. Jabari quietly enjoyed the breeze, holding his father's hand from the back seat. After hours of driving, they arrived at a small compound with a mud brick house and a rusty iron roof. Lola stepped out of the car, her mouth open in shock. "What is this? Malik, are you crazy? Are we supposed to live here?" Cassie slowly opened the door, covering her nose. "Ew, what's that smell? This place is disgusting." Malik stepped out calmly. "This house belonged to my late father. We'll manage here for now." "Manage?" Lola screamed. "Me, Lola, should manage inside this trash? After living in mansions, you want to dump me in this dead place? You must be joking." Cassie shook her head. "I can't survive here. Daddy, no Wi-Fi, no AC, no proper bathroom. How do people even live like this?" Only Jabari stayed quiet. He helped his father carry the bags into the house. The front door creaked as they opened it. The living room had 2 plastic chairs and an old wooden table. Cobwebs hung in the corners, and the air smelled like dust. Lola refused to enter. "Malik, take me back to the city right now. I'm not going in there." "We have no choice," Malik said. "This is all we have." Cassie hissed. "I should have just stayed with my boyfriend." Jabari turned and stared at her. "We're in this together. Shouldn't we try to support Dad instead of complaining?" Lola shot him a look. "Shut up. Must you always talk? Do you think we're here to suffer with your father?" Jabari shook his head and kept helping his father. Malik smiled slightly and patted Jabari on the back. That evening, Malik tried to boil water outside using firewood. His hands shook as he struggled to light the fire. Smoke filled his eyes, making him cough. Jabari came to his side and helped him arrange the sticks. He blew gently on the flames until they grew stronger. I used to watch the village boys do this when we visited Grandpa, Jabari said softly. I remember. Malik nodded. Thank you, son. You're the only one making this easier for me. Meanwhile, Lola sat on a rock, staring at her broken nails. This is a nightmare. No cream, no TV, not even a fan. God punish poverty. Cassie walked around the compound, holding her phone high in the air. No signal. No Instagram. No Snapchat. No TikTok. Are we even still in this country? That night, they all slept in one small room. A thin mattress was spread on the floor. The only light came from a lantern with a weak flame. Mosquitoes buzzed loudly in the dark. Lola kept slapping her arms, cursing under her breath. Cassie tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Malik lay on the mat, staring at the roof. Jabari tapped his father's shoulder. Dad, he whispered, don't worry. I know this is hard, but we'll make it. Those words touched Malik deeply. He turned and looked at his son in the dim light. Thank you. You don't know how much you're helping me stay strong. For the first time in years, Malik felt a real connection, not with his wife or daughter, but with his son. The next morning, a rooster crowed loudly, waking them all. Lola groaned. What kind of stupid bird is this? Why is it screaming in my ear? Malik stood up and stretched. It's morning. Time to start our new life. Cassie stepped outside, looking tired. Her wig was crooked, and mosquito bites covered her arms. I can't do this. I need to go back to the city. I feel sick. Malik ignored her and picked up a hoe. We need to start farming if we want to eat. We must work. Lola burst out laughing. Did you say farm? You want me, Lola, to go to the farm? God forbid. Cassie folded her arms. Me? Farm? Never. I'd rather die. But Jabari took the hoe from his father. Let's go. Dad, I'll go with you. Malik smiled, tears hiding in his eyes. Let's go, son. As they walked to the farm, Malik felt something deep in his heart. It hurt, but at least one person still stood with him. Meanwhile, Lola stayed behind, thinking of how to escape this hardship. She noticed a group of village women gossiping under a big tree. Among them was a man dressed in fine clothes, with a gold chain and a big stomach. He looked rich. He was a village chief. Kalu. Lola's eyes lit up. This was her chance. Life in the village was nothing like what Lola and Cassie were used to. By the third day, everything felt like a punishment. The heat was too much. No fridge, no running water, and worst of all, no maids to do the work. Lola sat under a tree, fanning herself with a leaf. This is not life, she muttered. This is suffering. Cassie walked past, carrying a small bucket to fetch water. Her makeup had faded, and her hair was rough. Mama, she whispered, we need to do something fast. I can't take this anymore. My skin is getting dark. Lola looked around and spotted the chief again. He was coming out of a nearby house, looking important. 2 young girls followed him, carrying his bag and umbrella. That must be the chief, Lola said to Cassie. He looks rich. Cassie stared. Is that how chiefs dress in villages? Look at his gold. Lola stood up and adjusted her cloth. I'm going to greet him. Mama, Cassie whispered, what are you planning? Lola smiled. When one door closes, another opens. Let me see if this door leads somewhere better. She walked confidently toward the chief, swaying her hips slightly. Good morning, sir, she greeted, bowing a little. Chief Kalu looked at her and smiled. Well, who do we have here? You're not from this village. I'm not, Lola said sweetly. We just moved here. My husband brought us after losing everything in the city. Life has been hard. The chief chuckled. A fine woman like you shouldn't suffer. Why don't you sit with me for a while? Lola sat beside him under his shaded porch. Thank you, Chief. You are too kind. He waved at one of the girls to bring her a cold drink. Soon, Lola was laughing and sipping her drink, while Malik and Jabari worked under the hot sun, digging the hard soil with their bare hands. That evening, Cassie sneaked out of the house and went to the only bar in the village. A group of men sat outside, drinking palm wine and laughing. She sat in a corner, pretending to scroll through her phone, even though there was no network. A married man named Mr. Mensa noticed her. He was in his 40s, with a big stomach, and owned a shop in the market. He walked over and smiled. "You're too beautiful to be sitting alone." Cassie smiled back. "I'm not from here." "I can see that," he said. "What's a city girl like you doing in this village?" "My foolish father brought us here to suffer," she said bitterly. "He lost all his money." Mr. Mensa grinned. "I can make you comfortable. I can give you money, buy you nice things, like in the city." Cassie raised an eyebrow. "Really? What's the catch?" He laughed. "No catch. Just visit me sometimes. My wife doesn't have to know." Cassie bit her lip, pretending to think. Okay, but you must keep your word." "Of course," he said, already placing his hand on her shoulder. And just like that, Cassie began her secret life. Malik sat outside with Jabari under the bright moonlight. The village was quiet except for the sound of crickets chirping. "Papa," Jabari said, looking up at the stars, "do you think we'll ever go back to the city?" Malik sighed. "Maybe, but not until I find out who truly deserves to go back." Jabari frowned. "What do you mean?" Malik patted his son's shoulder. "You'll understand soon." Every morning in the village felt like torture for Lola. No warm showers. No sweet-smelling lotions. No breakfast in bed. Instead, she had to wake up early, sweep the compound, fetch water from the stream, and eat plain cassava with pepper soup. No meat. One morning, Lola tied her wrapper angrily around her waist. "What kind of useless life is this?" "Malik, I didn't sign up for this village suffering." Malik, sitting outside whittling wood, looked at her calmly. "We have no choice. Lola, at least we have a roof over our heads." Lola hissed and stormed back into the house. What Malik didn't know was that Lola had started disappearing every afternoon. She would wear her best wrapper, spray the little perfume she had saved, and sneak off to the only hotel in the village, Golden Palm Lodge. Inside the lodge, Chief Kalu sat like a king. He had already bribed the hotel receptionist, a young girl named Linda, with 5,000 naira every week to keep his meetings with Lola secret from his 3 wives. "Linda," he would whisper, sliding her the money. "If my wives come asking, you didn't see me. Understood?" Linda would nod nervously. "Yes, Chief. My lips are sealed." One afternoon, Lola walked into the hotel, swaying her hips. Chief Kalu was waiting in a private room, wearing just a white singlet and shorts. A thick gold chain hung around his neck, and he was chewing roasted goat meat. "My queen," he said with a grin. "You get more beautiful every day." Lola laughed and sat beside him on the bed. "You always know how to flatter a woman." Chief Kalu fed her a piece of meat. "Because you deserve it. Let me tell you something today, Lola." "I'm listening," she said, chewing slowly. "I'm going to divorce all 3 of my wives." Lola's eyes widened. "All of them?" "Yes. I don't want them anymore. You're the only woman who truly satisfies me. I want to marry you and build you the biggest house in this village." Lola blinked fast. "You're serious?" Chief Kalu nodded. "Very serious. In fact, the king of this village is very old. He coughs every minute. Soon, he'll die. And guess what?" "What?" "I will become king. The elders have already told me. I've given them goats, bags of rice, and money. They're on my side." Lola gasped. "So, I'll be queen." Chief Kalu grinned. "Yes, Queen Lola." They both laughed like hyenas. Then he leaned closer, whispering, "Do you know how much gold I have? I own mines. I have land. I have shops. I even have oil connections. I'm not just rich, I'm powerful." Lola stared at him like a hungry child staring at candy. "Leave your husband, that poor man. Come live your best life. I'll rent a beautiful house for you here, far from Malik and those useless children. Let me spoil you." Lola kissed his hand. "Chief, you don't know how much I've suffered. I haven't even let Malik touch me since we came here. I already belong to you." Chief Kalu laughed loudly. "That's my woman. That's the spirit." He reached into his bag and pulled out a wad of cash. Take this, 20,000 naira. Buy new clothes. Next week, we'll start building your new house. I've already called the builders. Lola's heart danced. She held the money like it was gold. You're an angel, Chief. May your enemies never prosper. They stayed in the room until evening. When it was time to leave, Linda showed Lola the back door so no one would see her. As she walked home, Lola smiled from ear to ear. She couldn't wait to tell Cassie. Back at the house, Malik sat outside with Jabari, fixing a broken stool. Jabari looked up. Where's Mama again? Malik sighed. She went to fetch firewood. Or maybe she's with a women's group. Jabari didn't believe it. She doesn't even know how to hold an axe. When Lola finally returned, she dropped a bag filled with meat, groundnut oil, and canned fish. Malik's eyes widened. Where did you get all this? A woman in the market gave it to me. Her husband is a trader. Lola lied smoothly. That night, Lola and Cassie ate the special meal alone. Malik and Jabari had to eat plain porridge again. In their room, Lola whispered to Cassie everything the chief had said. Cassie's eyes grew wide. Are you serious? Lola nodded. Very. He's richer than your father ever was. Cassie giggled. Mama, if I find my own rich man here, I'll never go back to that boring city. They laughed like two thieves sharing a secret. The next afternoon, Cassie sat outside chewing gum and pretending to scroll through her phone. She wore a tight, shiny dress given to her by Mr. Mike, one of the married men she had been seeing. The day before, Mr. Mike had lied to his wife, saying he was going to a meeting in another village. Instead, he took Cassie to a hidden spot near his farm, where they spent hours under a tree. But in the village, secrets don't stay hidden for long. That same afternoon, as Cassie relaxed outside, a woman stormed into their compound, fire in her eyes. It was Mrs. Mike, the wife of the man Cassie had been sleeping with. Where's that useless girl? She shouted. Come out now. Cassie slowly removed her chewing gum and raised an eyebrow. Yes? Who is shouting like a madwoman in this compound? You shameless thing. Mrs. Mike barked. Stay away from my husband. Do you hear me? Stay away. Cassie laughed. Your husband? Madam, please. That man came to me himself. What do you want me to do? Mrs. Mike's face turned red. Shut your dirty mouth. I've been married to him for 15 years, and now a small rat like you wants to destroy my home. Cassie stood up and looked the woman up and down. Look at you. You look like poverty itself. No wonder your husband chose me. Your skin is dry like old leather. Mrs. Mike's hand shook. You're insulting me. Cassie stepped closer. Let me warn you, old woman. Don't try me. You can't fight me. Your husband wants fresh skin, not village bones. You hear me? The woman's eyes filled with tears. Cassie, I'm warning you. Stay away from my husband, or else. Cassie clapped her hands. Or else what? You'll do nothing. In fact, I'll take him from you completely. Just watch me. Mrs. Mike pointed a shaking finger. God will judge you. Then she turned and walked away, crying. Just as Mrs. Mike left the compound, Malik stepped out from behind the hut where he had been fixing a broken chair. He had heard every word. Cassie, he called softly. She turned and rolled her eyes. Oh, great. Here we go. I heard everything, Malik said, walking toward her. Is it true? Are you seeing that woman's husband? Cassie picked at her nails. So what if I am? Malik's voice was calm but pained. My daughter. This is wrong. You're young. You have your whole life ahead. Why destroy someone's home? Cassie hissed. Mind your business. Daddy. Malik paused. Cassie, I'm your father. It is my business. Which father? She snapped. The one who dragged us from a mansion to this dirty village? You couldn't even manage your money. Now look at us, carrying water, eating dry rice with no meat. You call yourself my father. Malik blinked, shocked. I know things are hard now, but nothing, she cut him off. I hate this life. You ruined everything. I had friends, followers online, boys begging to date me. Now I'm here smelling like smoke and wearing slippers made from tires. Tears filled Malik's eyes, but he held them back. All I'm saying is, stop chasing married men. Focus on your life. This isn't the right path. Cassie laughed bitterly. What life should I focus on? The one you destroyed? You couldn't keep your business. You couldn't protect us. Look around. Dad, we live like rats. You did this to us. And I don't care what you think. I'll do whatever it takes to survive. She stormed inside, leaving Malik standing alone, broken. From the doorway, Jabari watched everything. He wanted to speak, but knew this wasn't the time. His heart ached for his father. That night, Malik sat outside alone, staring at the moon. It was bright, but his heart was dark. His loyalty test had revealed more than he expected. The next morning, the birds sang, but the house was silent. Jabari stood by the door, watching his mother, Lola, dress up again. She wore her best wrapper, bright earrings, and lipstick that didn't match the early hour. He stepped closer. Mother. Lola turned slowly. What is it, Jabari? He folded his arms. We need to talk. She sighed. If it's another lecture, stop. I've had enough. Jabari didn't move. This life you and Cassie are choosing, it's not good. The whole village is talking. Lola chuckled. Let them talk. Talking is free. Jabari stepped forward. It's not just gossip. It's about respect. Your name. Your honor. What happened to the strong woman I knew? Lola's face hardened. That woman died the day your father dragged us from a mansion to this village. Jabari swallowed. He's still your husband. He used to be, she snapped, before he failed us, before he became a poor man who can't even buy soap. Jabari took a deep breath. So that's it? Because the money is gone, love is gone too. Lola laughed bitterly. Who eats love? Who wears love? Who lives in love? Jabari's voice softened. Even if you're angry at Dad, is this the answer? Dressing up every day, leaving like a stranger, avoiding your home, avoiding your husband. Lola picked up her bag. Since your father chose to be useless, let him suffer. I have no pity for him. Jabari frowned. The man you're following, what has he given you that's better than what Dad ever did? Lola lifted her chin. He makes me feel important. He sees me. Jabari shook his head. He gives you small change, and you act like it's gold. You used to sleep in king-size beds, fly to the city just to shop. Now you take 5,000 naira and smile like it's a blessing. Lola's face darkened. What's your mouth, Jabari? I'm still your mother. I know, he said firmly. That's why I'm telling you the truth. Because I still believe you can change. Lola looked away. Your father will never be rich again. That man is finished. Jabari's eyes burned. You don't know the future. She pointed at their small hut. Does this look like a man who's going somewhere? Jabari took a deep breath. Yes, because I believe in him. I believe he'll rise again. And when he does, you'll regret every word. Lola laughed coldly. Don't worry. When the house I'm building is done, I'll leave this place. I'll leave you, your poor father, and this miserable life behind. Jabari clenched his fists. You should be ashamed of yourself. Lola's eyes widened. What did you say? You heard me, he said, his voice low. Ashamed, not just for betraying Dad, but for betraying yourself, for throwing away your dignity for nothing. For a second, Lola's eyes softened, but only for a second. She picked up her bag and turned to the door. Be careful how you speak to me, Jabari. I'm still your mother. She walked out, leaving Jabari standing there, tears in his eyes. Lola walked alone on the dusty village path, lifting her wrapper slightly to avoid the mud. She swung her small bag and hummed, dreaming of the big house Chief Kalu had promised her, gold jewelry, soft beds, and freedom from Malik's poverty. Suddenly, a sharp voice cut through her thoughts. Husband snatcher. So this is a road you take every day to see Chief, eh? Lola turned quickly. It was Rita, one of the chief's wives, standing with her arms crossed, eyes burning with anger. Lola raised an eyebrow. Who invited you to talk to me? Rita stepped forward. Me? You're the one who came from the city to break homes. You should hide your face in shame. Lola hissed and moved closer. You think I'm afraid of you? I used to wear diamonds. Do you even know what perfume smells like? Don't try me. Rita laughed. You, who claim to be a rich man's wife, what are you doing now with a poor chief who has fake gold and empty promises? Lola froze. What did you say? I said his gold is fake. Everyone knows. You're following a man who lies. Open your eyes, woman. Lola pushed her. Don't insult me. You're just jealous because he chose me over you. Rita pushed her back. Because you opened your legs for him. In a flash, they grabbed each other's wrappers, screaming and pulling hair. Dust flew as they fought in the middle of the road. Villagers stopped to watch, shaking their heads. A boy ran past, shouting, "Come see city woman fighting over chief." Lola broke free, adjusting her wrapper. "Rubbish!" she shouted, storming off. Lola didn't stop until she reached Golden Palm Lodge, her chest heaving. She knocked hard on Chief Kalu's door. "Come in," he said lazily. She entered without greeting. "What is the meaning of this?" she snapped. The chief looked up from his food. "What?" "I just fought one of your wives. She said your gold is fake, that you're a poor chief with borrowed clothes." The chief wiped his mouth. "And you believed her?" Lola folded her arms. "I've never really looked at your gold. Bring it. Let me touch it." He raised an eyebrow. "Are you mad?" "Answer me. Is your gold real or fake?" The chief stood slowly. "Of course it's real." Lola scoffed. "Liar. You think I'm a fool? I used to live with real diamonds. My house had gold handles, marble floors." The chief frowned. "And yet, you left all that to follow me. You're the foolish one." "What did you say?" Lola gasped. "You heard me," he shouted. "What do I want with a woman who left her husband just for money? If poverty moves your heart, you have no value. You're cheap." Lola stepped back. "So that's how you see me?" "Yes," he yelled. "You think you're special? You're just like the others. At least my wife stayed with me when I had nothing. But you? You ran from one poor man to another." Lola shook her head, tears in her eyes. "God will judge you." "Leave my room," the chief barked, "and don't come back." Lola stormed out, her face burning with shame. As she walked home, villagers whispered loudly, "See the city woman. Needs to sleep with people's husbands. She thought she was special. Now look at her, walking alone like a lost goat." Lola hurried, pretending not to hear, but their words followed her like shadows. Her dream life had crumbled like dry leaves in the wind. She reached a compound and sat on a stone, covering her face. Everything weighed on her, the insults, the fight, the shame. Then footsteps approached. She didn't need to look. She knew who it was. "Lola," Malik said quietly. She didn't answer. He stood before her, his voice cold and pained. "I am ashamed of you." Lola looked up slowly. "What did you say?" "I said I am ashamed," Malik repeated. "The whole village is talking. My name is everywhere because of you. They say you fought a man's wife on the road." Lola stood. "So you came to insult me too?" Malik's voice rose. "What kind of woman have you become? Is this how far you've fallen? From a rich man's wife to a roadside fighter?" Lola laughed bitterly. "And who made me fall? You. You failed us. You dragged us from the top to the bottom. Now you open your mouth to talk to me." Malik shook his head. "You call yourself a woman? You threw away your shame for small money. You chase a man with fake gold, and you're still shouting." Lola placed her hands on her hips. "If you're done talking, go inside. This village is mine now. You're nobody here." Malik looked her in the eye. "You're the one who lost, not me." He turned and walked away. The next morning, Lola sat outside their small hut when Malik walked out. She ignored him. "I got a job," he said calmly. Lola glanced at him. "Oh." "In the city," Malik continued, "as a security guard. It's small, but it's a start. I told Jabari we'll be leaving tomorrow." Lola burst into laughter. "Security guard? At your age? You're truly finished. So you want me to follow you to the city and be called Madam Security Wife? I didn't ask you to follow me, Malik said. You made your choice already. She laughed louder. Go! I'd rather stay in this village than live with a security guard. In fact, I'm happy. Now I can breathe. Malik nodded slowly. So be it. The next day, Jabari packed his small bag and followed his father to the village bus stop. He didn't even look back. Lola and Cassie sat outside the hut, laughing loudly. Finally, Cassie said, the house is peaceful. Lola smiled. No one to disturb us with prayers and preaching. I can live my life freely now. Cassie giggled. No more Jabari asking where I'm going or when I'll be back. Lola lifted her wrapper high and stretched her legs. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Let them go and suffer in the city. This village is better than being around poverty and fake holiness. They both laughed. The morning sun was high when Malik and Jabari arrived in the city. The streets were busy with cars and people, very different from the quiet village they had left. Jabari looked around, wondering where they were going. After walking through several streets, they stopped in front of a huge mansion with a tall fence and an electronic gate. The house was beautiful, with large windows and a green garden inside. Jabari turned to his father, confused. Papa, what are we doing here? Is this where you work? Malik smiled slightly, a strange look in his eyes. No, Jabari, this isn't where I work. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a remote, and pressed a button. The gate slowly opened. Come on, Malik said, leading Jabari inside. As they walked up the driveway, Jabari's eyes widened. The mansion was even more impressive up close, with a fountain in the front yard and expensive cars parked outside. Papa, I don't understand. Whose house is this? Jabari asked, his voice full of wonder. Malik took a deep breath and turned to his son. This, Jabari, is our house, our new home. Jabari's mouth fell open. Ours? But I thought we were poor. Malik chuckled. We were never really poor. Son, I sold our old house because I needed to teach everyone a lesson, especially your mother and sister. We were spending money without thinking. We were losing our values. Jabari was silent for a moment, trying to understand. So, all that time in the village, it was a test. Malik's face turned serious. A test to see who truly valued family and who was just there for comfort and money. Jabari looked down, thinking about his mother and sister, how quickly they had moved on without him or his father. And Mama? Cassie? Malik's face hardened. They made their choice, Jabari. I gave them a chance to come back, but they refused. They chose a different path. Jabari felt anger, relief, and sadness all at once. I guess they never really understood what was important. No, they didn't, Malik agreed. But you did, Jabari. You stayed by my side, even when things were hard. That's why I'm showing you this now. This house, this life, it's for us. For those who value what truly matters. Jabari walked around the living room, touching the soft sofas and looking at the paintings on the walls. It was all so luxurious, so different from their simple life in the village. Papa, Jabari finally said, turning to Malik. I'm not happy about the lie, but I understand why you did it. I just wish things could have been different with Mama and Cassie. Malik nodded and placed a hand on Jabari's shoulder. I wish that too, son. But we can't change people, only how we react to them. Now, let's focus on building a new life here, one that's true to our values. Jabari nodded, feeling both loss and hope. Let's make this a home we can be proud of. Malik smiled, relief in his eyes. That's my boy. Let's start fresh, and this time, let's do it right. As they walked through their new home, planning and talking about the future, the weight of the past began to lift. They were together. They had each other. And that was enough. Meanwhile, back in the village, Lola and Cassie sat outside their hut. Suddenly, a tall, slim man walked up to them. His name was Kofi, known for gossip and market talk. He stood a few feet away, breathing fast, holding a rolled-up newspaper. Good afternoon, Madam Lola, Sister Cassie, he greeted politely. Lola looked him up and down. Kofi, what do you want? Did you come to beg for money or what? No, Madam, Kofi said excitedly, I just came back from the city yesterday, and guess what I saw with my own 2 eyes? Cassie yawned. If it's not about money or fashion, don't disturb us. Kofi smiled. It's about your husband, Mr. Malik. Lola paused. Cassie rolled her eyes. Your husband is rich again. Kofi announced. He's living in a big mansion, a house even finer than the one you lost. I swear on my life. Lola burst into laughter. You're a funny man, Kofi. Cassie joined in. Are you okay, or is the city sun still frying your brain? I'm serious. Kofi insisted. The house has marble floors, a fountain, big cars. People say it's his. I even saw Jabari with him. They both looked fresh and rich. Lola slapped her thigh and laughed louder. Let me guess. You think he bought it, right? My friend, that house belongs to his boss. That man is a security guard. Do you hear me? Security. Cassie nodded. My father, a rich man again, with that old face and torn clothes? He must be washing cars or cutting grass for the real owner. Kofi frowned. But I saw him open the gate with a remote. He even told someone it's his house. Lola hissed. A remote is proof? Maybe he was just told to clean the place. Don't let this foolish man confuse you. Cassie crossed her legs. That's how poor people act rich. Let him keep pretending. We know him too well. Kofi scratched his head. But what if he's truly rich again? Lola stood up, placing her hands on her waist. Let me tell you, Kofi, that man can never make it again. Never. His suffering is permanent. He's a finished man. Don't waste your time defending a failure. Cassie stood beside her. In fact, since you love him so much, go and tell him we said it's still a disgrace. Tell him his wife and daughter said so. They both laughed again. Kofi shook his head sadly. I just thought you should know. We don't care, Lola said sharply. Carry your gossip and go. We're busy. As Kofi walked away shaking his head, Lola turned to Cassie excitedly. Now for my news. Chief has asked me to be his wife. I'll be queen of this village. Cassie squealed. And my married man is leaving his wife for me. Soon we'll rule here while those 2 suffer in the city. They laughed and celebrated their imaginary victories, unaware their real fortune had walked away with Malik and Jabari. Weeks later, the truth reached the village. Malik was indeed wealthy, far richer than before. Photos circulated of him at business meetings, in luxury cars, with important people. Lola and Cass's world crumbled. The chief abandoned Lola when he learned the truth. Cass's married man returned to his wife. Their dreams of royalty evaporated overnight. Desperate, they traveled to the city and stood outside Malik's mansion, tears streaming down their faces. Malik, Jabari. Lola wailed. We were wrong. Please forgive us. The gates opened, revealing Malik and Jabari dressed in fine clothes. Cassie fell to her knees. Daddy, brother, take us back. We've learned our lesson. Malik looked at them with pity but no anger. I forgive you both, but you made your choices clear. Jabari added softly, you laughed when we left. You celebrated our supposed suffering. That showed your true hearts. Lola sobbed. We were fools. Cassie, tell them. Cassie turned on her mother suddenly. This is all your fault. You poisoned me against Daddy. You made me think money was everything. Malik held up a hand. Enough. The past is past. We forgive you, but this is no longer your home. As the gates closed gently behind them, Lola and Cassie clung to each other, finally understanding the true cost of their greed. Back at the mansion, Malik and Jabari stood on the balcony, watching Lola and Cassie cry as they left in regret. Will they be okay, Papa? Jabari asked quietly. Malik sighed. They'll survive, but some lessons must be learned the hard way. Jabari nodded. At least we tried. Yes, son, and now we move forward, together. And they hugged each other tightly.